Arsenal just barely survived to secure a draw 2-2 against Liverpool in a thriller of a match. It was a tale of two halves, as you had Arsenal in the first half dominating possession, but the moment Liverpool scored, after Arsenal had such complete control of the game started to fall apart for Arsenal. It was 2-0 early, as Arsenal were able to secure two early goals with the help of, I actually just forgot who scored. Gabriel Martinelli and Gabriel Jesus. Two Gabriels combined to score two goals. But by the 30th minute, they were already up. Then Mohamed Salah. We all know Mohamed Salah, the greatness. He hasn't had a great year this year. He even messed up later in the game with a mistake on the penalty spot. However, we'll talk about that later. Brought it back to 2-1, and then we started to get chippy. Arsenal started to lose their heads, started to get too physical. Granit Xhaka picked up an early yellow. There started to be a lot of fierce tackles. So go into the half 2-1. Anfield was alive. They were buzzing. They started to get loud. They started to feel the energy and started to cheer on their side. Then the second half begins, and it's more of the same. Liverpool, consistent pressure the entire time. Arsenal could not maintain possession for longer than a minute. They just could not make a legitimate attack. They had a couple chances on the counter. Gabriel Martinelli should have made a better ball to Bukayo Saka there at the 94th, 95th minute, in which Bukayo Saka was running free down the middle of the pitch. However, he just could not get the ball to him. Alisson came off his line, cleared the ball, and Liverpool continued to pressure. Aaron Ramsdale had a sensational game. I think he was the best player on the field for Arsenal today. He made, I believe, 3 miraculous saves. One with Mohamed Salah doing a curler of a shot. He dove, got fingertips on it. Actually, happened twice. And then Konate, right at the end of the game, right off the line, he saves a header from about 3 yards out and just keeps it at a 2-2 draw, which, I mean, if you're Arsenal going into the match, you would think you're happy with that. But the way the match progressed, you wish you got these 3 points, because these 3 points in the title race would have been important. And now you're only 6 points clear of Manchester City, with Manchester City having a game in hand, which I would imagine they're going to win. It'd be very hard for Man City to drop points from here to the end of the season. The only team they may drop points against would be Arsenal, but that's a tall task for Arsenal because their back line is depleted at the moment with Saliba being injured. Holding did play well, but Arsenal needs to rally from this. They need to pick up points against West Ham, pick up points against Southampton, and then you're going to go into Manchester, and you're going to have to play Manchester City, and hopefully you're able to secure a draw. You secure a draw there, I think the title race is over. I think Arsenal will be the champions. However, if they lose that game, yikes, it's going to come down to goal difference at that point if no one drops points to the end of the year, and Manchester City would advance on goal difference because they are a machine and they win every game 4-1. On the Liverpool side, yeah, Konate looked tremendous. He looked absolutely sensational all day for Liverpool. He was a rock back there. I thought he should have picked up a yellow card a couple times because of how physical he was, but just vicious tackles. He was fast to the ball, quick to ball, first to the ball the entire time, the entire game. He did not get beat. He did not allow for them to get in behind him. He played well and did have that chance at the end of the game, which would have solidified a great performance, if you ask me. Zinchenko could not get beat by, you can't get beat by Trent Alexander-Arnold there. You're the only guy on the left side. You have to hold your ground. If he gets behind you, he has an open cross, and we all know there's one thing Trent Alexander-Arnold does better than most people in the entire world. It's cross the ball, and he did just that. Set up Bobby Firmino, who just somehow always scores against Arsenal to make it 2-2, level game in the 87th minute, and that one hurt. There were some questionable subs by Mikel Arteta today. I don't understand why you sub off Martin Odegaard. He is your captain. You bring on a player who's rather untested. I believe it was Kiwior. See who he subbed on. Yeah, it was Jakub Kiwior. I get it. You bring him on for a more defensive mindset at the midfield position, but Odegaard is your rock. He is solid. You already have Xhaka and Thomas Partey in, who are more defensive minded. I would have maintained them in the holding midfield. I think they went a little too defensive, and that really hurt them in the closing seconds, as they just didn't have the attacking capability from the midfield in order to try to make a rally or try to maintain possession. And, you know, you kind of get in your own way sometimes. Leandro Trossard, of course, came on, played well, did well in the short, I think, 10-15 minutes he was on. It was nice seeing him out there. Gabriel Jesus played well as well. Yeah, it's a tough break for Austin, tough break for the Gunners. Hopefully they can rally from that and come up and get some victories versus West Ham and Southampton before we have the big game to decide the season versus Manchester City.